Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be women who give you one-word answers when you ask them questions. The whole idea behind all of my videos and my articles and what I teach in my book is to help you get a really super high-quality woman that you can fall in love with and who will feel the same way about you. Because it doesn't matter. Any guy that says, I just want to fuck 100 girls, after a certain period of time of sleeping around and screwing enough women, it's great and it's fun, it's awesome to have sex and hook up. Eventually, he's going to want something more. And eventually, usually what happens if you date enough women and you apply these techniques that I teach, you're going to meet enough women, you're going to be successful at seducing them, and eventually you're going to meet a girl that you just think is a casual hookup, no big deal. And over time, you're going to find yourself liking her more and more, and she's going to like you more and more. And eventually, after a few months have gone by, you realize that you're pretty much in a relationship with her because you've blown off all the other girls that you were hanging out with, and because you have so much more fun with this particular girl. And so that's why it's so important to use the things that I teach so you make sure that you get yourself a good quality woman who really likes you, who's really into you, who's going to reciprocate interest. Because a lot of guys, and I used to be this way when I was younger, we have deep-seated beliefs for whatever reason, fucked up childhood, families, or societal programming, that deep down we feel we don't deserve to have somebody really awesome and really spectacular. We think it's a myth. There's no way that could happen to me. And so when you start dating somebody, or you really like a girl and you want to hook up with her, you want to date her, you want her to become your girlfriend or whatever, what happens is we tend to project our own high level of attraction and interest for a girl onto her, and we ignore the fact that she's not really making much of an effort on her part. And when you continue to pursue a girl who's not really into you and who doesn't really try that hard, you spend a lot of time not being with her, maybe talking to her, but not hanging out and not hooking up, and you're putting all the effort out there. And because you spend a lot of time pursuing somebody that's not really trying that hard, what happens is it just reinforces your deep-seated belief that you don't deserve to have somebody who's actually interested in you, who actually carries a conversation when you run out of things to say, somebody who's actually trying to please you when you're in bed together, somebody who brings gifts or who comes over and who makes you dinner, or if you're making dinner, she'll bring a cake or a dessert or something like that, somebody that's a giver. And the idea is I don't want you to get caught up and waste your time with a girl who's not really making much of an effort. Because you deserve to have somebody that's awesome and amazing and spectacular and who perceives you as a catch and who's a catch herself. Somebody that you really like and you really want to be with. So it's important that you stay aware and you look at what a woman does, not so much what she says. And I've got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hi Coach, I stumbled upon your website while trying to get some info on how to make things right with a friend I want to go out with. I met her through another friend who thinks we would be a perfect match, and we got talking." See, that's the thing a lot of us guys do, is that you got a friend that hooks you up. It's just, oh, you guys would be perfect for each other. And so you like the girl, and your friend's saying, oh, you guys would be perfect for each other, or your family members think you'd be perfect together, or your coworkers think you'd be perfect together. And so you look at all those things and you rationalize all those things like, yeah, we should be together, but because you like her, you're looking for any reason in your life and in your world to justify that you're going to be with her, to justify your feelings for her. But it's like 9 times out of 10, especially if you're new to this stuff, you ignore the fact that she's not really reciprocating that much. And so he says, recently I'm chatting with her on the phone, and she answers me with monotone statements like, okay, no, fine, cool. He says, this has never been her way of talking, and I have tried to find out what the problem is, but to no avail. She's not going to give you a straight answer. What she's communicating is she's really not that into you. And the reason being is maybe she was into you in the beginning, but for whatever reason, maybe you said things, and that's what my book will teach you. It will teach you most of the common mistakes that guys make that communicate neediness or unworthiness, or that you feel like you don't deserve her. And you don't even realize you're doing these things. You don't realize that you're acting weak, or you're acting needy, or you're acting feminine as opposed to masculine, because a feminine woman is going to be attracted to a masculine guy. But when you look at what's on TV and what you see in the movies, it's constantly showing examples of men who basically act like women in the relationship, and the women tend to act more strong and more masculine. And you see that, and when you've seen hundreds and thousands of those things from the time you're a little boy till you grow up to be an adult, you can't help but become conditioned to think that that's the way the world is. That's the way it's supposed to be, because you almost become brainwashed by it. And so when you read my book, you start to realize all little things that go completely against what you all, or the opposite of what you thought was the way that women were. He says, now I'm not really sure if she likes me anymore because she doesn't even answer the simple questions like, what did you do today? And her response would usually be, nothing. It's getting me worried. I hope to hear from you. Here's the deal. You should be setting dates, and it's obvious you're spending a lot of time talking on the phone, but you're not actually spending any time in person. And guys tend to rationalize, oh, hey, I'm talking to her on the phone, so we got something here. I'm talking to this girl. A lot of guys will say that, I'm talking to this girl. You shouldn't be talking to this girl. You should be going out with this girl and talking to her physically in person, because that's the only way you can escalate attraction till it ultimately leads to sex in the bedroom. But it sounds like here you spent so much time talking on the phone, and you obviously are saying things that are communicating weakness, or that you're unsure of yourself, or maybe you've been talking to her for quite some time and you've never got around to asking her out. I used to do that a lot when I was younger because I thought, oh, I got to get to know this girl over the course of several weeks, and then I'll get around to asking her out for a date. Then I get around to asking her out for a date after I've been talking to her for 3 or 4 weeks on the phone, and I get the, well, I just think as you as a friend speech. And I was certain that she liked me to start with, and that's what a lot of guys do, is they talked women right out of liking them. And I think that's probably, from what you shared with me, what you've done here with this particular girl. So I would do nothing with this girl. I would back off, not call her, not contact her at all. Wait a week. If you don't hear from her at all, call her, text her, however normally you reach out to her, and just say, hey, when are you free to get together for a drink? And let her respond. Wait for her to answer that before you say anything if you're talking on the phone, or wait for her to respond if you're saying that in a text. And then when she said whatever day she's free, you say, great, why don't we get together at such time, meet her out at some place, or I don't know if you guys have actually spent much time together or not. And if she likes you and she wants to meet you, she'll agree to do it. And if she's really not that into it, she'll give you an excuse, or she'll tell you, well, why don't you, if you make plans for a Thursday, and she says, well, just call me Thursday just to make sure, or to tie things up, or to confirm, or to remind each other that we've got a date, that kind of thing. And if she does that, then you just say, hey, if you're not really sure your schedule, let's just do it another time. And you withdraw it. And if she just says, okay, yeah, let's just do it another time, then you go, okay, I'll talk to you later. And then I would wait 2 weeks, call her, and if she gives you the same nonsense, then just forget about it. Because bottom line is you've done too much and you've ruined it. But if she reaches out, if you don't call her for a week, it's after 3 or 4 days, she reaches out to you and says, hey, how are you? Because it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And I think more than likely she probably knows that you like her, because obviously you're reaching out to her all the time. But the point is she's not reciprocating anything. It sounds like she's gotten totally turned off. So if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and give me several days to get back to you. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions on the next page. And if you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, which I highly recommend, because it's obvious I don't think you've read my ebook at this point, go to my website. Underneath the email sign-up box, there is a link that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page. Once you get to the download page, if you don't have a Kindle device, on the right-hand side, there's a button you can click to download a free e-reader app for your tablet device, smartphone, or your computer. And it only takes a few more seconds after you got the app installed to complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information in my videos and my articles, you can show your appreciation by going to my website. And at the bottom of your screen, there will be a toolbar. There's a PayPal donate button. Click the button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.